You're here with GoTarryn TV. I'm Nick Wood, and we're back for the third time talking about beach bodies.
Hey everybody, welcome to GoTarryn TV today. I'm Tarryn the Traveling Trainer from Atlanta, Georgia. It's episode number 450, and we have returning to GoTarryn TV, you heard him earlier, welcoming back from Danbury, Connecticut, Mr. Nick Wood. Nick, how are you doing today?
Oh, awesome, man. I just moved. We were just talking about how I moved, so trying to figure out like how we can put everything, so it's exciting. It's exciting. How you been?
Very good, thank you. It's good to see you, and we got the patriotic background there with the American flag. I like that.
Well, it's because I have this whole apartment up here, so I put that there to section off my work area from my relaxation area.
Nice.
I think, it's kind of, you know how we like to go into our little nooks to do our work, so I kind of, that was my separator, so keeping it patriotic, you know?
Very cool. Excellent. I like it. Very appropriate for our video blog today, and we're going to be talking to everybody out there about some fitness concepts, interweaving some summer tips. But since the last time I've talked to you, Nick, how's everything been going?
Oh, awesome. Just with the move here, getting the Nick Wood method up, we're going to be launching the site officially on March 16th for my birthday. I'm going to give myself that. So we're just cramming in some last minute things, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been a good journey since the last time I talked to you, man.
Well, that's exciting. Before we jump into it, tell us about the website, tell us about the Nick Wood movement, and what's going on with that.
Yeah, so as you guys know, I'm a backpacker, so I'm a big backpacker. So I'm just going to be kind of blogging about my backpacking, fitness, interweaving fitness and outdoors. You know, there's going to be books of the week. There's a lot coming. It's exciting, you know. So it's been a long process, and after the first time I came on here, I was like, let's go, you know. So you kind of motivated me a little there, man. So it's a good time here.
That's great. Well, it'll be nice to document this journey alongside all the viewers out there watching you as you go through this process. And at the end of the video blog, Nick, I'm going to make sure I get your Twitter, your email again. So if this is the first time anybody's watching, they'll get that from you. But we also got to plug the website too. I'm assuming the website's not live or up yet, right?
No, it's going to be live March 16th.
March 16th, you said, yeah.
Yeah, it's my birthday, so usually, you know, people go out and they enjoy some cocktails and stuff, and I'm going to give myself a nice website for my birthday. So
well, congratulations. That's exciting. I'll do everything I can to help promote it on my end, and everyone out there watching, I encourage you to check it out because this gentleman knows his stuff. So here we get going. If anybody hasn't watched Nick in the past, at the end of the video blog, I'll plug the other blogs that you've been on with us, Nick. But you definitely know your stuff. We're going to talk today about some, like I mentioned, the summertime's coming up, the nice weather's right around the corner, and as everybody know, we're, a couple weeks out from spring, so what a better way to get you on here and tell people how to stay motivated and keep fit. And first question I have for you, Nick, one of the things...
Get a little nervous before these questions, man. Sorry to interrupt, man. Go ahead, let's go.
No worries. I'll lob some softballs to you first. I'm not going to just start by throwing you some really curveballs here. But this one will be easy. So we've got the time change, daylight time savings here in a few days. It's coming up, and we spring forward, so we lose an hour. And one of the common questions that I get from clients that I see is that the lack of energy because they get gypped. They get a 47-hour weekend instead of a 48-hour weekend. And so when they come in, you know, again, Monday morning, I've got some clients who no show, no call, or Tarryn, that extra hour of sleep makes a big difference. So what is your suggestions? Let's hit it and attack it as a preventative maintenance, if you will. Before daylight savings comes, what can you tell the people watching some, tips or ideas of how to combat that so they don't lose that hour, basically?
Well, it's a hard thing to do because it goes forward at 2 a.m., right?
Yes, exactly.
So it's one of those. It's enough. I think it's more of a mental thing. I don't really, because I always remember out in Colorado when people were complaining about it, and then some people like it's just an hour, you know. But I think it depends on how your sleep cycles are already. Are you getting those 8 hours of sleep? Are you getting those 7 hours? Or if you know your body, where are you in your REM sleep? Because I know if I go to bed at a certain time, if I wake up 15 or 20 minutes before that designated time in the morning, I'll be shot. I'll have to roll out of bed. It's much harder. So it's kind of understanding the cycles of sleep go in 90 minutes. So if you can kind of, when you get into your stage 4 REM sleep kind of stage, it's about 90 minutes per cycle. depending on who you are, maybe a couple minutes here or there. So what you could do is kind of before you go to bed, figure out that cycle. And it's hard because some people say I might lay in bed an hour. When you lay in your bed, you turn the lights off, do a little calculation, 90 minutes, do a couple cycles, and see what time you can wake up. Maybe instead of waking up at 6, you have to wake up at 5:30, but that's going to give you that, you're going to be in a lighter sleep, so it's going to be easier to come out of it.
Very well said. I like that, Nick. Excellent. Okay, and then so here's another thought too. You know, I've seen some people already at the gym with those bodysuits on, and in the old days when I was wrestling in high school, our coach used to encourage us to wear garbage bags over our body and get in the hot sauna and lose the water weight, you know, because I was a wrestler and the goal was to lose as much weight as quick as possible. What is your thoughts or opinion on those bodysuits for weight loss? Any ideas for that if anybody's watching?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, as a former wrestler and MMA guy myself, I've seen a lot of it. I've seen a lot of people putting the bags on. I remember in high school, and even my buddies who went to college, you know, we were going in the sauna dropping 10 pounds before a match the next day. And if we really think about it, that's just water weight. So if you're gonna, it's kind of like the elevation mass that people doing, right? Are you training hard enough? That's a real question you need. If you really want to lose weight, putting a garbage bag on is just going to lose your water weight. And second off, it's very unhealthy. You're going to overheat your body. If you're a younger person, it stunts your growth. There's a lot of things in it that I push against. If you need to, if you're a collegiate wrestler or you need to make weight for something, then it's a different story because now you're looking at it from an athletic standpoint. You're looking at it from a sport. But for your general person, I really don't recommend it at all. The pros don't. It doesn't outweigh itself. The bad outweighs the good. So I would definitely stay away from it. And just remember, just move. Make sure you're there. You're pushing yourself to a new limit if you want that body. Water weight is not going to do it because you're going to put it right back on when you throw some back.
Very good. I like that, Nick. Next question for you, Nick. Here in the greater Atlanta area, we're getting some 70-degree plus weather this week. It's almost mimicking summer rather than spring. So when the spring and summertime comes and we get warmer weather out there, what's your advice for prevention of heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat stroke? You know, when it's really, really hot out there, and I know it could get hot and humid up to where you're at as well, but what would you advise the folks out there for preventative methods of not getting overheated when they're outside?
It's like we say on the trail, hydrate, 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 hydrate. There's a lot of these electrolyte drinks that are out there. I really don't promote any of them. I think they're a lot of sugar, and you can just kind of throw some. There's like electrolyte tablets you can get that I think are more effective, and they have less sugars in them as the power drinks out there. I'm not gonna call any of them out. Like I don't know any of that. I don't want to, like all that kind of stuff. But no, I don't think it's just hydration. Really, think about this. As a general go of things, you should drink half your weight in body ounces of water a day. So, example, if you are 100 pounds, you should be drinking at least 50 ounces of water. That's just to maintain homeostasis if you're not working out. And then from there, there's a lot of arguments how much water you should have, how you shouldn't. The best thing about it, you can't drink too much water because you'll just pee it out. That's all that's going to happen to you. You're not going to, unless you try. There used to be the challenge. You drink a gallon of water in like 30, 40 minutes, and you can't pee for like 2 hours. And then people were getting, I don't know the whole stick of it, but people were getting really messed up. GI tracts, everything was going south. So just drink water. Make sure you're hydrated. Put some electrolytes in there if you need to. This time of the year, it's also funny. I was just talking to my friend Michaela, who's an awesome trainer as well, but she's specializes in women's nutrition.
Okay.
And she's talking about how this time of year we want more fruit, and that's where we should get those sugars from. That's going to help us gain weight. We're thinking of if we're eating with the seasons, we're coming out of the winter where it's a lot of soups and broth. And so now we're on the stage of getting those fresh fruit. And it's weird because they're already coming fresh fruit up here. There's a golf course open the other day. So it's weird how I don't know how the fruit is going to be this year because I don't know how the climate was down in Florida and even Georgia. You know, those Georgia peaches, man. Those are so good. So that's it. In a long-winded thing, hydrate, eat your fruits. You know, unless you're allergic, obviously.
Very good. I like that, Nick. And then of course in the greater Atlanta area we have the sun is just so intense. When people are outside and like you're doing your trails or people are biking outside or running, what have you, what's your advice on how to get away from the sun or the intensity of it so it's not too draining on you?
Well, yeah, see it's funny that because many people even in the winter we don't realize that the sun is still beating down on us. Expect there's no snow this year, but if there was, that reflection.
Hmm.
So it's a kind of an all year thing that we should be aware of. Even when I was on the trail early in April, and we were down south and it was still cold out. I got a sunburn and the
Mm.
whole 9 yards. We always need to be taking care of our skin. It's our biggest organ first of all, and it protects everything else. It's our first penetration of it's our first defender. So,
Mm.
especially when you go to the beaches, everything, I know we all want to show off our body. We want to get tan, these women and men who lay in the beach all day. But it's too easy these days to get sun cancer. So,
Yeah.
30 SPF, cover your neck up, hat, and, to show your body off once in a while, but you don't got to get a sunburn over it.
Yeah. I like that. That's very good. Excellent. Well, now spinning it a little bit more personally here, what about workouts outside? Are there any favorites that you have, Nick, that you can advise folks if, some of like your, say, top 5, top 10 things that you like to do, in addition to the trails, of course, outside that you can advise the folks out there?
That's my favorite time of year is training outside because
Okay.
when we're inside, I feel like it limits our movement.
Okay.
We have, but don't get me wrong. Like, there's nothing better than deadlifting. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like, come on, like, where everyone loves a good pump deadlifting, and after you feel amazing. But when we're outside, I think we could be more creative with our movements.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not better. It's not worse. It's just another alternative to working out. You got to change it up sometimes. Sometimes it's simply having fun. So, just get outside. Try to do some handstands. Roll around on the ground a little. Even if you just go for a nice walk and instead of putting your hand on the tree to help you up, you kind of run up the hill, play around with it. It's really when you're outside, there's a total freedom about it. Climb, like I climb a lot of trees. I like to hang on the trees, climb around. It's kind of childish. It's kind of, but it's a new level of movement, and it allows you to open up your creativity. You being fit. I just talked to somebody the other day, and you probably hear this all the time. Oh, I don't like working out. Why don't you like working out? Oh, well, I don't like going to the gym. I don't like people. I don't like how I have to stay there and do this many reps. And I think that's a part of the fitness world, and it's
Hmm.
definitely resistance training. We can't argue the benefits of resistance training, and I'm not going to try to say you don't need it. But there's another part of it, the creativity part, where you can kind of create your own workouts. And when you're outside, you're just using your body. Maybe even get a kettlebell. I love going kettlebells outside. There's a great guy you guys should all look up, Gus Peterson. He does this juggling kettlebells. And he just took kettlebells and he made something creative because he liked to be outside. It's moving into a new realm of thinking. I'm not telling you to accept it or anything else, but just go out there and try to crawl around a little. It's fun. It's different. It's exciting. So that's what I would say. Be creative with it. I'm not gonna sit here and say you should do X, Y, or Z. So I think there's a lot in that realm of it.
Love it. Very good, Nick. Excellent. Well, your answers on everything were just grand slam like last time, and every time we have you on here, it's just a very, refreshing, enjoyable thing to do to get someone's perspective who's highly educated and credentialed as yourself. So now let me ask you some other personal questions. You had mentioned earlier, where are you moving from and where are you moving into? What's the deal with that?
Oh yeah, no, I had a studio apartment over in Bethel, and it
Okay.
was a good gig. It was really nice, and then I had this opportunity with a couple guys I know to move into a house. So I got the whole top floor, and it's if you could see that it's kind of wooded, so it kind of reminds me of a lean-to on the trail. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
yeah,
Very
and
cool.
I have a nice finished bedroom over there, and
Cool.
it's definitely my style and my train. But it was only like 5 minutes from where I lived. So I have my
Perfect.
mats over here, and I just put them over here, listen to some music, so it's good.
You got it made. Excellent. Another personal question for you, Nick. You had mentioned, obviously anybody who's watched you before knows that you're a big mixed martial arts enthusiast. We've talked about that as well. Were you shocked from last weekend? Any big upsets that you were shocked by?
The McGregor fight. Um, I I think if you watch McGregor move in that first, I take the second round out, take who was winning, who wasn't winning out of it, and just look at the way he moved. His footwork, his head dodges, and then in the second round he just got cocky, And like he was tagging Diaz. He opened Diaz right up. Diaz couldn't touch him, and then the inevitable fate of most people who gets the top, we get cocky and we have to get set back a little. But I think what he said after, I think was the coolest thing in the world. He called a couple people out. He said, Aldo and somebody else, you guys didn't show up. I showed up. I fought. And there's this great picture of him walking out of the locker room with his chest up just like he walked in. And he was like steaks for breakfast still. So he went up 2 weight classes. It was an interesting. It's awesome to see how he like. Did you watch the fight?
I didn't watch the fight, but I watched the post highlight sound bites and the post conference too.
Oh yeah, man. It was I ordered it and I had a couple buddies over to watch it, and just to watch this guy move, and Ito was in the corner. I'm a big Ito fan. So it was after he got on top though, I was like, he's too big. But hey, you gotta give the guy credit. He went up 2 weight classes, gained 25 pounds. Talk about that. He gained 25 pounds, went up 2 weight classes.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's incredible.
Steaks for breakfast.
And
There was a couple other good fights. The Lawler fight, I was waiting. I hope Lawler won, but that kind of was it was kind of more of a technical fight. I thought it wasn't very exciting, but they were waiting for that prime opportunity because it was a big one between the two. And I love watching women fight.
Oh yeah,
Holmes is a beast, but Miesha Tate is just her ground game. She was on point. She wanted it. And it also brings up an interesting thing of the women's division. It's opening up a whole new. This is a second fight where the titles changed.
Yeah.
So you had Ronda at the top at one point, and now you have Miesha, and who knows? Maybe there's another contender. So it's kind of opening up the doors for women athletes in the UFC to come up, and it's exciting. I think it's going to be cool. I can't wait for the next fights.
Yeah, likewise. And I like what you mentioned, too. You just mentioned about the movement, how important that is. Movement, obviously, is a big word and terminology that's used in your own branding, your marketing. So with that said, let's get some information from you here. Nick, if this is the first time anybody's watching you, how can they reach you best?
Right now on March 16th, it will be live nickwoodmethod.com.
Okay.
And besides that, nickwoodmethod at gmail.com, the Twitter nickwoodmethod, and you can find me on Facebook, Nick Wood. Yeah, but it's going to be easier once I get the website up because I'll be able to put everything at the bottom, and it will be like my hub. So you can go places like that. So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. It's challenging though, man. It's a new. I'm not very tech savvy, and to see go through yours and to see how you did it and other people, you kind of start taking things from there and there and making it your own. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, likewise. If there's anything I could do for you, Nick, to help out or ideas or what have you, let me know, please. It's always best to not recreate the wheel and have what works and get some good insight from that. I'll do whatever I can to help you out with that. We're excited. What can the folks expect? What are some ideas that you've got with the website right now? You don't have to give too much away or any spoilers, but for somebody who goes to your website, what are a couple of things that you envision that they're going to get out of it?
Knowledge.
Good.
That's kind of what we're all after. We're all after you're doing this podcast not to make money. I mean, that might be these other things that will benefit you, but you simply are just an interested guy.
Thank you.
You just want to talk. You just want to talk to people. You want to experience, and eventually, I'm going to have to market something off of that. I'm going to have to brand something, make money in order to keep on doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But that's not the point of it. The point of it is to go there. I shout out a lot of people. I'm always giving. I always think. Give credit where credit's due. So I'm just trying to make the movement of a healthier, better future, kind of. And I use the word movement, not even in the fitness sense, but in the movement of the mind. So many of us get clogged up in this one way of thinking. And I'm reading this book, Mastery, right now, and I'm just about finished with it. I have a couple pieces going at a time, and I have a main book, a thicker book, and I have little ones in between. So this book, Mastery, is just by Robert Greene. I'd recommend anybody to check it out. And all the books that I read, there's going to be a top list on my website of books, just books that I recommend that I put in order that help me get to the trail that I'm on right now, or path, whatever. I always have to refer back to the hiking, you know.
Yeah, certainly.
But,
That's great.
but yeah, that's really what it is. Just putting good knowledge out there. I'm going to start a podcast. I mean, you kind of you being on your podcast motivated me. I've been listening to podcasts all the time, but you know, when my brother hooked me up with you, I was like, yo, this guy's doing it. He has 450 episodes. Like, you go through it, you got some cool people on there, and that's all it is. You know, I just want to bring something that's more positive into the world with all the negativity.
Very well said, Nick. Well, again, it's always wonderful having highly educated, strong-minded people like yourself, like your brother Jason, if he's watching. I love having you guys on, and I'd love to have you back on very soon. Let's have you back on once the website's launched, and that way we can revisit that. So the next time you're on here, we can actually plug the website and show people a little tour of the website. That'd be really cool.
Awesome, man. Definitely.
Excellent.
Tarryn, it's always a pleasure.
No, likewise, Nick. Thank you so much. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much. And folks, here comes Nick Wood's contact information right now. All right, everybody, there you have it. Nick Wood Movement. Check him out. And hey, if you need to learn any more information about Nick, as he mentioned previously in our interview, that wasn't the first time he was on GoTarryn TV. You can refer back to episode number 410 or episode number 415, and that way you can see the very first couple of times that Nick's been on GoTarryn TV. And so I encourage you to do that. Go check him out again, episodes 410 and 415, so you can learn a little bit more about Nick Wood. And again, if this was your first time watching him, make sure you got his contact information, and I can't wait for the website to come out as well. So once he gets the website published, folks, we will be having him return here to GoTarryn TV. But that'll wrap up episode number 450, and I've got a lot more great people lined up for this week, so be on the lookout for the upcoming video blogs, and you can always check out all the video blogs right at www.gotarryn.tv. And the other ways that you can follow me, if you ever want any of the video blogs that are published and immediately notified, you will be the first to be notified. And the ways to do that is to either like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, and follow GoTarryn on Twitter, and that will keep us connected with you and Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, master of the personal training universe of GoTarryn Personal Training, who tells each and every one of you out there that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Thanks so much for watching today's video blog, folks. We'll see you on the next one, and again, check out Nick Wood Movement. We'll see you later, folks. Bye-bye.